It's a Monday. Thank you very much for choosing to watch the Uganda Catholic Television. My name is Sunday Gloria Aboch with Uctv News. Now, the Minister of Ethics and Integrity, Honorable Akelo Rose Lily, has called on leaders and the public servants to adhere to the Leadership Code of Conduct by declaring their wealth as required by law. Speaking at the launch of the March 2025 Wealth Declaration exercise at the Supreme Court premises, Akelo emphasized that failure to declare assets could lead to dismissal or demotion. Inspector General of Government Betty Kamya warned that this year's exercise will focus on under declaration, noting that some officials hide assets under false names, including their domestic workers, without their knowledge.
In 2021, we amended the Leadership Code Act to prescribe the penalties for breach of the code. The penalties include payment of a fine, dismissal from office, demotion, having the under-declared property confiscated and forfeited to the government, and forfeiting the monetary equivalent of the under-declared property to the government. I therefore appeal to my fellow leaders to comply with the Leadership Code Act and submit their declarations to the Inspectorate of Government within this month of March. In September 2022, I made the Leadership Code Regulations 2022 to enforce Section 7 of the Leadership Code Act, which allows members of the public to apply to the IGG for access to the context of the declaration of a leader or a public officer. The regulations contain the application form and the requirement for the payment of an application fee of shillings 100,000. The IGG can only reject the application if the release of the context of the declaration is likely to prejudice the security or sovereignty of the state. If the applicant's reasons for requesting for the contents of the declaration is not satisfactory, if the IGG has reason to believe that the context of the declaration may be used in bad faith, if it may endanger the life or the physical safety of the leader or public officer, or if the disclosure is likely to prejudice or impair the security of the safety of the public officer. All this is intended to ensure transparency in our declarations, and I urge all my fellow leaders to ensure transparency and accuracy in your declarations.
Leaders, we're estimating about 35,000. You know, the total workforce that get paid from the consolidated fund are about 400,000 on the government payroll. And all those people must declare their wealth. But this particular month of March, every 2 years, there is a group out of that who are called leaders, and they're specified under the Act, and they're about 35,000. These are basically political leaders, appointed leaders, and some that are mentioned in the Act. They're about 35,000. Those must declare every 2 years. But the others, the rest, the public servants, they declare once you enter public service, and thereafter every 5 years. That's the difference.
The president, the vice president, the speaker,
all those are leaders.
My interest is the top leadership of the country, the president,
yes,
the vice president, as the speaker. Have they been able to declare?
Oh, the president always declares, but this one has started today. This one, because it happens in the month of March, every 2 years, from 1st of March to 31st of March. So the last declaration was in 2023, and the president has declared all the years that this exercise started.
The Forum for Democratic Change Party has formally logged a complaint with the National Electoral Commission, highlighting concerns over the high number of voters assigned to polling stations in Kampala, with the Kawempe North by-elections on the horizon, where Sadat Muchibi, aka Khalifa Aganaga, and Sharif Segunya are representing the party for positions of Kawempe Member of Parliament, Kazon Angola Councillorship, respectively. FDC party argues that the overcrowding at polling stations could result in long queues and potentially prevent voters from casting their ballots within the designated hours of 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
There's something worth noting with the EC of Uganda. All of you know our voting starts at 7 a.m. in the morning and ends at 4. All of you know it. What is so touching in Kampala in particular is that we have polling stations where the people are supposed to vote on those polling stations. Some polling stations like Awempe 2, Namandunkoyo's home, has about 1,000 voters on a polling station, which does not happen up country in many areas. But in Kampala, you have a polling station of 1,100. Another one is here, 1,220 people. That's Chebando, LC1 meeting place, M to NAK. But if you are to divide the time we are given for voting, you know that the people of Kampala are going to be differentiated. They will not be able to vote, practically. Let's assume that you have 9 hours from 7 to 4 p.m. Now we are talking about 540 minutes exactly. Those are the 9 hours. And you know, for someone to vote, let's give a conservative figure, which is next to impossible. You take 2 minutes. You go and check your name. They give you a ballot. You vote the first person and the second one. You take 2 minutes. So practically, only 270 people can vote in 540 minutes on a polling station. But now here you have a polling station of about 1,000 people. 270 can practically vote in those 9 hours. What is going to happen in the rest? What will happen? The lines will be too long, and some individuals, because the lines are too long, they drive back home, they will not vote. And somehow this was done deliberately. In some areas, people were on those polling stations, they are about 350, at least 500, something like that. But in Kampala, we still have polling stations of 1,000 people. If I would count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 polling stations out of 197 have more than 1,000 voters. Practically, they can't vote. Then they give you statistics. The voter turnout in Kampala was 42%. Thinking that people didn't come out to vote, but just because the lines were too long, people stayed away. And this one is done deliberately, Mr. Biabaka Massa. Why do you have polling stations of 1,000 people? Well, polling stations are supposed to be about 500 people per polling station. So deliberately, more than 50% of the people in the Kawempe can't vote. Practically, they can't vote in those 9 hours. Why do you plan it like that? And you know now, Kawempe, if you take that time which I've calculated for you, 2 minutes, then the maximum now people who can vote in Kawempe are 53,190. Practically, those who can vote. If they have used 2 minutes per voter in the time of 9 hours. But as of 2021 records, Kawempe North has 164,052 voters. If you are calculating this percentage here, it's just over 30%. So practically only 30% of people can vote in Kawempe North. People go and calculate it out. 30% practically can vote. So we're disenfranchising more than 100,000 people in the Kawempe. I don't know how practical it can be that this thing can be resolved as quickly as possible, but I would have prayed that EC would have increased the number of polling stations so I don't disenfranchise Ugandans in Kawempe.
The Nebi Resident District's Commissioner Robert Abak has issued a stern warning to head teachers regarding the presence of ghost learners in government-aided primary schools. The concern arises as Nebi District was recently ranked among the 10 worst performing districts in Uganda, with only 29 pupils obtaining first grades in the latest exams. Abak emphasized that the issue of ghost learners and teachers is significantly contributing to declining education standards, vowing strict actions against those found guilty of inflating student numbers for financial gain.
The Nebi Resident District Commissioner Robert Abak has issued warnings to head teachers in the district over the presence of ghost learners in their schools. This issue is particularly concerning given that Nebi District was recently ranked among the 10 worst performing districts in Uganda, with only 29 pupils obtaining first grades. The RDC said this warning is likely a response to the ongoing problem of ghost teachers and pupils, which has been blamed for declining education standards in the district.
Yeah, we detected that and we received some concerns from some whistleblowers that in some schools, head teachers are inflating enrollment. And the reason for inflating is to get money, much money, to school, which is illegal. So what we have done, like my office, the two schools that came up in the limelight, we handed them over to police to investigate. And as I talk now, the general inquiry file is open and the investigations are ongoing. I'm waiting for the findings of the investigators, then we see the next step to be taken. However, in some other schools also, what we have discovered is that parents get excited when they hear head counts is about to come, or when the term opens, they rush to take their pupils. Like now, the pupils are there because it is dry season. Come rainy season, they are withdrawn to go and help them in the garden. So this also causes some kind of discrepancies.
Emmanuel Orombi, Nebi District Chairperson, noted that the Education Service Commission has also attributed the existence of ghost learners to head teachers, emphasizing the need for proper supervision and accountability.
There are so many ghost learners in schools and head teachers exaggerating the data or what they have in schools in order to pick money, extra money. But when you go on the ground, their explanation is different. We try to probe and ask them and also to check on our own, but in real sense, when we went on the ground, I don't want to be defensive. When we went on the ground, we found that it's true in first term like this, when children start school, the issue is you find they are in big numbers. They have morale to study, but in the middle there of the term, parents they become frustrated. Could be one of the factors, could be environment at school, but also majority of them, they confess that it's because of lack of parental support.
Recently, during a district council meeting, a section of district councillors said to address this issue, the RDC may be working with education officials to implement stricter monitoring and evaluation systems, ensuring that schools are held accountable for the attendance and performance of their students. Reports from Nebi District Education Department indicate that the district has over 4,000 ghost learners, as some head teachers increased enrollment to receive more UPE funds for their own selfish interest.
You're watching Uctv News. We are going to take a break and we'll be back with more stories.
Uctv. Good news. for all.
You are watching Uctv, good news for all. For this and more, tune in to Kasese Get Radio 100.5 in Western Region, located at the hill of the Diocese of Kasese. KGR brings you all Catholic programs and an advertising platform in all our radio shows like Good Morning Renzori, Chama Towoka, Ukute, the business show, Propeller, the request show and sports, Evaluation by Hingaba Kuluka, Late Night Show, and many others. Our other services include Isuzu Tipa, a Noah car, public address system, live band, Omokekera, an audio recording studio, and outside live broadcast. For more information, call 0773 597 166 or visit our website www.kasesegetradio.com. Kasese Get Radio, Omusondoria, the voice of truth.
Welcome back. UCTV News continues. Now, after 4 years of renovation work, the Catholic Diocese of Fort Portal has officially reopened and rededicated Our Lady of the Snows Virica Cathedral with a Holy Mass under the theme, The Joy of Going to God's House. The main celebrant for the occasion was His Excellency, the Most Reverend Luigi Bianco, the Apostolic Nuncio to Uganda, who urged the believers to embrace the holy year with faith. His Lordship Robert Muhira expressed gratitude to the government of Uganda, his diocese, and all contributors for their support in restoring the cathedral to its former glory.
The Roman Catholic Diocese of Fort Portal is the diocese located in the city of Fort Portal in the ecclesiastical province of Mbarara in Uganda. This diocese is led by His Lordship, Right Reverend Robert Muhira. After a 4-year renovation work, the Catholic Diocese of Fort Portal has reopened the Virica Cathedral with a Holy Mass under the theme, The Joy of Going to God's House. The main celebrant was the Apostolic Nuncio to Uganda, His Excellency, the Most Reverend Luigi Bianco, and the chief guest was Her Excellency Jessica Alpo, the Vice President of Uganda, who represented His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of Uganda.
I am grateful to God and to all of you for this special and solemn celebration of this Sunday, Day of the Lord, in this Our Lady of Snows Virica Cathedral, Diocese of Fort Portal. First of all, we like to greet the distinguished civil authorities present today, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Jessica Lupo, and the other dignitaries. We like also to greet again the Bishop of this diocese, His Lordship Robert, the Emeritus Auxiliary Bishop Joseph, and the other.
In his speech, His Lordship Robert Muhira thanked the government of Uganda, his diocese, ministers, and all those who have contributed to the glory of this cathedral.
I congratulate all of you for coming to celebrate with us for this newly renovated Cathedral of Virica. We thank you for being with us today to celebrate this restored Cathedral of Virica. Special gratitude goes to the steering committee, led by no other but by Monsignor Isaiah Mayombo, and the different subcommittees which he has shown us, who have worked tirelessly with great dedication to see that this cathedral reaches the glory that we can see today. As you have heard, this work has taken 4 years. The first 3 years was undergoing critical underground work. When I consulted engineer Deo Katekere for the first time, he was working with Rocco. I asked him, come and do some quick investigation to see how much this work could cost. When he gave me the figure of 5 billion, 3 billion, I just kept it to myself. I didn't want even to share it with anybody because I was so scared. But he kept challenging me. But also the rain kept challenging us as it was hitting us as we were celebrating Mass. As Monsignor mentioned, we started to think of the roof. But as the work went on, we found that we needed more money, from 2 billion to 3-point-something billion. To thank the President of the Republic of Uganda, in 2022, as we're preparing for celebrating Namugongo Martyrs Day, we visited him to Rwaktura with some of the members of parliament, some of the steering committee members. We showed our need. He gave us 1 billion, but he said you can use that money as you want. So we divided it. 500 million went to the celebration of Namugongo, and the 500 we kept to the work of this cathedral. So we are grateful for His Excellency for having contributed to us.
In his message, which was delivered by the Vice President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni encouraged believers to work hard and asked their leaders to live by example.
As we dedicate the house of God today, I call upon all of you also to rededicate yourselves to God. Work hard and embrace honesty. I encourage all the leaders to lead by example and be the hope of the faithful. The youth, who are the biggest percentage of our population, must be encouraged to work hard and avoid temptation of getting rich quickly, and the NRM government will continue to educate all the people on how to get out of poverty. I congratulate all the people of Our Lady of Snows Virika Cathedral upon the rededication of the house of God today.
M. Frank, UCTV News.
The Uganda police has launched an intelligence-led operation targeting fraudsters who disguise themselves as pastors and traditional healers to swindle money from unsuspecting victims. During a security press briefing at Naguru Police Headquarters, a spokesperson, Rusoke Kituma, revealed that 15 fake pastors operating in the Greater Kampala metropolitan area have already been identified. He warned that the police will take action against them once investigations are complete. Kituma also issued a public advisory urging Ugandans to remain vigilant as authorities intensify the crackdown.
While addressing today's weekly security press at Naguru Police Headquarters today, the police spokesperson, Assistant Commissioner of Police Rusoke Kituma, noted with concern a consistent trend of incidents where false prophets or fake pastors fleece money from unsuspecting members of the public.
Intelligence information we've been receiving as police. There are numerous victims who have fallen, or victims of fake pastors and traditional healers. So by the time I came to air it here, it is something we felt that we should bring it out to the community because it is something worth talking about. These healers fleeced significant amounts of money and property from their victims.
Chituma revealed that they have already earmarked and will soon arrest 15 suspected fake prophets operating within the Greater Kampala metropolitan area once they are done with the investigations. However, he declined to provide specific details, citing that it may compromise the ongoing investigations.
Police has taken some steps, and as we speak, We have already identified a number of these suspects, but I was advised that we first hold on issues of exposing as our investigations go deeper, because we have identified over 15 prominent fraudsters of this kind.
As police intensify their crackdown against false and fake pastors across the country, the public is implored to enhance vigilance against those manipulative and exploitative religious leaders or traditional healers by reporting them to police.
We call upon the general public to take note of these fellows, because they are soliciting as many people as possible, as many gullible citizens as possible. Whoever fails to detect them falls victim. They take a lot of property, they take land titles, and you see, they come in the image of faith. Pastors, healers, people with the divine intervention. And so very many people have fallen victim to them. So for now, this is the only information I will provide. Then at a given time, that's when we shall make some arrests and also expose the suspects.
On the other hand, Chituma reminded village thieves, who often break into farmers' kraals and farms and make away with livestock, that they will no longer be granted bail until they are duly tried by the courts of law.
To remind citizens out there that theft of animals and crops, any suspect got in these acts, you will not benefit from a police bond. Well, I cannot speak for the judiciary, but I know that it would be hard also to get court bail. Police instead will put its effort in making sure that it takes whatever it is called for to process you to court.
This follows multiple incidents where suspected livestock robbers have been lynched on grounds of being in possession of stolen animals. Such recent incidents include Olemai village in Kumi district, where 2 individuals were killed upon being suspected of stealing goats from Palisa district. In Muramba village, Bugoi sub-county of Kasese district, another suspected coffee thief was lynched and a motorcycle set on fire. Nonetheless, police condemned mob action and warned that whoever shall be caught in this act will be charged with murder. Joseph Kabari, UCTV News.
In a bid to tackle the rising number of road accidents within the public transport sector, the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety has vowed to arrest and prosecute all bus drivers operating without valid badges. During a press briefing today, Traffic Police spokesperson Michael Kananura confirmed that no more express penalty tickets will be issued to such drivers, but instead offenders will be taken to court for prosecution, marking a strict approach in addressing the issue.
We urge all bus companies to cooperate with us in ensuring that only qualified drivers with valid buses are allowed to operate these buses. Companies must not assign buses to unlicensed drivers or drivers that were disqualified and they do not have these badges. And to the drivers, be warned also that driving a bus without a valid badge will lead to immediate arrest and prosecution. There will be no fines for you, not even warnings. Only when we get you, we shall only take you direct for court appearance. So just get to know. And please don't risk to get onto the bus without a badge. Another operation also netted 2 bus drivers previously disqualified and denied badges who were apprehended for driving gateway buses on the eastern route in Jinja without the required credentials. They were arrested, taken to court, and charged accordingly. And we urge all motorists to exercise extreme caution and adhere to speed limits, particularly in urban areas. Furthermore, we urge all individuals and businesses operating alongside roads to exercise extreme vigilance and caution. This includes, but is not limited to, vendors, shop owners, and construction personnel.
Still in local news, the Busia Value Addition Plant, touted as a transformative asset for the region's agricultural sector, is grappling with a major setback. The plant's silos, designed to store cereals, are sitting unused as produce dealers are reluctant to store grains there due to limited capital. Located in Solosi Village, Eastern Division, Busia Municipality, the facility boasts 3 large silos, each with a storage capacity of 30,000 tons. Now, despite its state of the art infrastructure, the plant is struggling to attract traders to use its services.
Committee that we have gone to the farmers, sensitizing them. Remember, these are our Ugandans. We cannot just wake up in one day and do things very perfectly. And the aflatoxin that you see, that I wanted a little bit to comment on, is that the UNPS laboratory is East African Agri. So we have the East Gulu, we have Mbali, and we have the UNPS made. And the laboratory there is East African Agri parameters. So the aflatoxin that you may see is considered to be less harmful per person. That's why they say that at least at 0.5, at 5, that one is considered to be not much harmful.
Yes, so plan engagement ne management ya validation ngabagezaako tukubagiriza nti tugezeeko kulaba nti tusitookingamu ebintu byaffe. But the only challenge we have is one nti abaproduce tulina capital mala tukola mmera leero nti ofuna nsawo emmotoka emu n'otunda n'ogula endala ate sairozi ayagala nga omuntu alina ebintu bingi agenda okusitookinga. Nti ngaffe abatasobola kusitookinga nti tulinde bbeeyi erinye, tulina okuba nga tukola ku daily basis. Mmera leero tunda ofunako ogenda ogula endala. Tetulina busobozi tusobola okugula kasooli mungi kusitookinga eyo. Oba olaba tukozesa oba nti tulina capital. Era gavumenti ebadde esobola otuyamba netwako capital abasuubuzi oba abaproduce tusobola okukola ki tugikozesa naye tetulina capital tusobola okukozesa seyingote.
Kakiiko kaffe kagenda ketegereza ebisuubizo bya gavumenti. Tuli kakiiko ka palamenti. Palamenti yasuubiza abantu b'e Busia n'ekitundu kino nti egenda bateerawo factory eno egatta omuwendo ku kasooli gwe balima ne grains endala. Naye ekizibu bwe tutuuse ku factory, gavumenti yateekamu sente nnyingi bilioni 15, naye factory tennakozesebwa, bakozesaako kumpi ebitundu 5 ku 10 byokka. Bw'olaba feed mill yo sirowooza nti bakozesa n'ebitundu 2. Kakati twateekamu sente nnyingi, beetaaga ekizibu ku bizibu bye balina, tebalina sente zimala kugula kasooli n'ebyetaagisa. Ekirala wali wansi mu feed mills waliwo ebiba byetaagisa bingi naye tebannagikozesa bulungi. Tebalina generator, amazzi tegaliiwo. Kakati ebyo byonna twetaaga okuwandiika lipooti okukakasa nti ekifo kino bannabusia ne districts eziriraanyeewo tuteekamu byonna ebyetaagisa basobole okukifunamu. Bwe tulabye silos zino nga bw'oziraba za ttaani 3,000, naye abantu b'ekitundu abalimi basuubirwa okuba nga batereka wano kasooli waabwe n'ebirala, naye bo tebannatuuka na kujjawo. Bakitegeeza nti ekifo tekinnakozesebwa bulungi. Ebitongole bya gavumenti birina okukolera awamu okuyamba bannayuganda okufuna. Kati ekyamasannyalaze bwe kijja wano tegabaako wiiki, amazzi tegabaako, ne batakola bagenda okumaliza ng'ekigendwa kyo kiteekawo tekivuddeeyo. So twagala kulowooza nti ebyo babikolako obulungi tusobola okufuna Uganda ennungi. Era ne bwe baba batadde enguudo zikolebwe abaleeta kasoka tendabe moroka eva 14 ekkubo lyeyitamu likalubiriza abakola.
As we conclude stories from the local scene, the inspiring story of Proskovia Akulo, a female border rider who operates from Nkrumah Road, Bachala Bazira stage. Akulo goes on to share her experience of overcoming gender bias in the industry. While men have largely accepted her as a competent rider, some women still doubt her abilities. However, Akulo remains undeterred, proving that the border business is for everyone.
As we continue to know more about Proskovia Akulo, a border rider at Nkrumah Road, Bachala Bazila stage, today she narrates how her fellow women doubt her as a rider, and yet men have always believed in her.
Actually, most of the ladies, they don't trust fellow women to ride them, because as we are naturally known that we are weak, we normally carry the what? The male one, but the female one, they do fear us. Unless you convince someone, after convincing someone, that is when will accept you to ride the person. But most of our challenges is with our fellow women.
When it comes to insecurity, which is a common issue with the border, Akulo says that one should always be cautious.
You see, insecurity normally happen at night. So if you know you're a woman, and you know, for us, we are generally known that we are the weakest gender. So, you as a woman, if you join this business of border, you don't have to look like a woman. You have also to go to get any other trainings. You go and get those one who knows how to beat chikondes. You also learn those tactics. So, when if someone gets you, attack you, at least there is a way you can also defend yourself and you take off. Even if they are taking your motorcycle, they take, but meanwhile your life is what? You have saved your life. And again, another thing, you are not supposed to move at late hours. At least if it is late, late, it should be at around 9 there. And this 9, at around 9 p.m. And this 9 p.m. you should only ride along the main.
For those women who may also wish to join this business, according to Akulo, it's very doable and comes with so many other benefits.
Like for those women who are outside there, if you feel like you want to join the border industry, to be as a border rider, it is very simple. You can find us at our stage at Bachala Bazira, which is located at Nkrumah Freedom House. If you want to join this program of the border, we have an organization called WOW. This program is from Spain. These are the people who sponsor the women with riding this border. They are attached to Safe Border. Every year they recruit each woman who is riding on the road. They are the one who recruit those women. They recruit you. After recruiting you, only what they need from you is the national ID. They don't pick any coin from you. So this program has helped us a lot. They recruit you. After recruiting you, they train you, they get you permit, they train you with very many things. First aid, self-defense, financial literacy, family planning.
Akulo has a message for her fellow women for this upcoming Women's Day.
The message that I have for the Women's Day is that for you who is there, who is a woman, and you know that life is not easy for you, or sometime you are married and you got misunderstanding in your marriage, you separated, don't suffer. Just come and join Women Raising for Africa. They will support you, and you get the bike, and you ride and you support your family, and you try to raise your children. Then for those who will need to help us in the future, they will get us when we are on our way going.
M. Frank, Uctv News.
It is time for Today in History. That's all time we had for you this Monday edition of UCTV News. My name is Sunday Gloria Aboch. I wish you the best of the Monday evening.